Well, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in this week. Um, I don't know how many of you that are watching my channel are single, but at least for me, it's always nice to be able to look at something or point at something, use something as kind of like a rough draft or a barometer, some way to check if a certain person that I might be interested in is a good potential spouse. Not just the fact that they look pretty or I'm attracted to them, but what do they have? What are their qualities? And in which order do they value things? And it's really good just to have some sort of a I don't really want to say checklist, but some sort of a base to kind of start from and kind of pinpoint when you're looking at a potential spouse. Be like, oh, okay, so they have this quality and that quality and that quality. Oh, and they have it in the correct order as well. So I don't know how many of you have thought of the uh, the hand when you're looking at a potential spouse, but Jonathan Bacluda, he is a pastor from Waco, Texas, Harris Creek Church. He was on this podcast, Bryce, and I have a clip to show us, an excerpt from this podcast where Jonathan Bacluda was actually talking about this. And when you're looking for a potential spouse, look at these five things and think of your hand and the order in which they should be. So I want to jump right into it after the intro. I'm going to show you the clip and then I want to talk about it and at least expand upon certain things and clarify certain things afterwards. So with that said, let's jump into this.
We way overvalue physical attraction. And so if you're looking for a spouse, I would say consider your hand because this is helpful to me. You want to make sure you're going the same direction. Okay. That's the 2 Corinthians 6:14 to not be unequally yoked. Okay, so we're going the same direction. We both love God. We're chasing hard after God. Two, this finger, this is something that you can communicate pretty dramatically with in a gesture in our culture. And so you can think about that as communication. Do we communicate? Do we speak a common language? Do we understand each other? This finger, your ring finger, that's commitment. Are we committed? Are they in and out of relationships, or are they dating a different girl on Tuesday than a Wednesday, or are they? Do they understand what commitment is? This, your opposable thumb, you got to have your thumb to pick something up. Like without your thumb, these fingers aren't as helpful. So you have to have somebody that complements you, that they're strong where you're weak, they're weak where you're strong. You guys together make a great team. That's your thumb. And then your pinky, that's physical attraction. That's chemistry. I would say this is the one that we put in first place. I'd say it has a place. It's just not first place. And in fact, if you got to lose a finger, like if I said, hey, right now, the only way you're going to live is if I get to take off a finger, that'd be weird. But if I did say that, you're probably going to say, go ahead and take the pinky.
Yeah.
That's the one that the least important of the five. And what we've done is we've taken that one in fifth place and we've put it in first place. And the reason we've done that is because
Now, see how Jonathan really explained it in that clip, I think is really good. He did a really good job. I just want to clarify some things. You know how he said that attraction has a place, it's just not first place. This is true. This is very true. And I wonder how many of us actually put that in first place. I mean, I'll be honest, I've probably done that at times. Now, I don't think he's actually saying that you don't even look at the attraction portion at all even when you're wanting to initially talk to somebody, because guys are very visual creatures. So, of course, we're going to look at somebody, and first we're going to be attracted visually, that they're beautiful. And then that's going to make us want to go up and talk to them. And then when you start talking to them and you find out what their values are and all that stuff, that is how you start going off of in which order this is. It has a place. So, of course, start there. If they're beautiful, start there. Because if you don't find them attractive, if you don't find them beautiful, you're probably not going to even go up and talk to them to begin with. So that's fine. It's just once you start talking to them and you find out what their values are, what they believe in, then that is how you now start going off of the stuff that Jonathan laid out. And why is it important to have number one being equally yoked, where you're not unequally yoked? Because if you think about, if you're unequally yoked, and it goes deeper than just, oh, they're a Christian. Because, like me, for example, what I'm looking for in a potential spouse is, like I said in the video that I laid out before about, basically what I'm looking for. If you haven't seen that, I'll link that up in the corner. But I am what people would probably refer to as a Torah observant. I observe the festivals laid out in Leviticus. Not a whole lot of churches really believe this. Not a whole lot of people believe this. There are communities and there are people that do. And so I try to look for somebody that either believes this already or is at least open to the idea of studying and understanding why I believe this. Because if I look ahead, let's say I get married and they say that they're a Christian, but they don't really observe the festivals. Okay, so they believe in God, they read the Bible, they go to church, but they don't really believe and want to observe the festivals. When we start having kids, that's going to be a source of tension or source of argument, because I'm going to want to raise the kids and teach them how to observe the festivals, and they don't believe it applies, so they're not going to want to teach their kids that. They're going to say, oh, no, you don't have to. It doesn't apply anymore. And for me, I strongly believe that it still does. That's going to be a sort of source of tension, a source of argument. And do I need to have that? Do I need to get married and build a foundation there and start having kids? And we don't even believe fundamentally on that? No. So I need to look for somebody that is at least open and receptive to the idea of observing it. So that's why that's important. You have to be equally yoked. And then, like he said, the communication. Do you communicate well? Are you able to talk to each other and understand each other and really get your point across, and they're able to get their point across to you, and just be able to talk well? So, and then of course, areas that you're weak and they are strong, and then that you're strong and they're weak, that you complement each other. That's also important. Like you said, the thumb. So I hope this really helps when we're looking at a potential spouse, what to look for, because it's important that we realize what to look for and in which order that these things should be in. So how they prioritize, what they prioritize. So I thank you guys for watching this week. I hope this helps somebody to give them some encouragement to keep looking, and don't get discouraged, because, hey, I'm still single. I'd like to be in a relationship. I'd very much like to already be married. I mean, that would be nice, but it's it's tough out here. To be honest, it's tough out here. So, but these criterias, these benchmarks, things to look for, I think will help us go a long way in finding a good potential spouse. So, with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share the channel. Now, next week, I have another potential interview. It will be part 2 of Pastor Howard's interview of his testimony that he did. If you don't remember that, or maybe need to brush up on his story a little bit, I will link the part 1 up in the corner. And I encourage you guys to go back and watch that just to kind of get an idea, or just brush up on his story about what he's been through. And yeah, I have part 2 potentially next week. So unless something happens and changes, that should be coming out next week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay safe out there. And as always, God bless.